Marvel stuff, main villain of Avengers, Secret Wars is not who you... Let's see what the Cosmic Wonder to say about this and check this out.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren, and lately a lot of information about the future of Marvel Studios and the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been coming out, and it's getting fans really, really excited. And right now, the big bad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is not simply one big bad, but thousands of variants of one character, Kang the Conqueror. But what if I told you that the villain of Secret Wars is not actually going to be what you think? Now, the multiverse saga itself and Avengers Secret Wars is really nothing like we've experienced before. Yes, the villain of the multiverse saga is a person, but there are multiple variants of that person, essentially creating thousands of big bads. However, like we talked about in our last video, there are rulers over each other, and there is essentially a hierarchy of Kangs. And here's the thing about Kang the Conqueror: no matter which variant you're dealing with, that one particular variant, any of them at one given time, want to be the ruler of the multiverse, and no Kang trusts another Kang. And for Avengers Secret Wars, I think one Kang in particular is actually going to rule and take over the multiverse. And from what it sounds like, this variant of Kang, the one that is going to rule the multiverse, is going to be a combination of two different characters. One, of course, is Kang the Conqueror, and the other is the Beyonder. Now, some of you may have heard the report before that the Beyonder is going to be a variant of Kang the Conqueror in Avengers Secret Wars. And there are actually two really big ways that this could work. And in fact, it actually makes sense. And one of the ways actually still kind of lets us have the Beyonder as a separate character altogether, because some fans might be a little bit mad that Marvel would almost essentially eliminate a character from Marvel Comics by combining him with another character. However, with one of my theories, we still get a variant of Kang that is the Beyonder, but also the Beyonder as a separate character as well. And I'll explain the two different ways that this could happen and why they actually both make sense. And either of these ways would actually kind of give us good variants of Kang the Conqueror that would have to fight against this ultimate Beyonder Kang. So let's break it all down. But first, if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos, and subscribe and leave a comment to enter our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. So here's what I think would be the best way to have Kang the Conqueror be the Beyonder in Avengers Secret Wars. Now, for a little bit of backstory, for those who don't know, the Beyonder and the race, the Beyonders, create pocket dimensions outside of space and time. And they create these for their newborn Beyonders. In these universes, the baby Beyonder is all that is in the universe, and he is actually the universe itself. Really freaky concept to kind of grasp. But ultimately, a crack would kind of enter his universe, and some energy would show him that there was a multiverse. He would eventually stumble upon Earth, and he realized that Earth and the people on Earth weren't their entire universe. In fact, they were part of something much bigger. Their entire universe was way bigger than just them. And the universe that they lived in itself wasn't even the whole thing. There's a whole multiverse that it's a part of. So whereas the Beyonder completed his universe because he was it, he found the humans incomplete. And he decided what would complete them is desire. So he conducted an experiment, and this is what happened. He took a lot of heroes from Earth and a lot of villains from Earth, put them essentially on different space stations, and then destroyed the Earth and the universe. Then told them to fight and said, whoever wins, I'll make your desires come true. I'll grant you anything you want, sort of like a genie. Now, it's important to note that this is the story of the original Secret Wars that was published in 1984, not the 2015 one. But here's where Kang the Conqueror comes in. This is definitely something that Kang would do. You get the strongest Kang of all, who has actually conquered the multiverse and has full control over the multiverse, go to Earth, or many different Earths, and just due to simple frustration with the Avengers, because we know from the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania post-credit scene that different variants of Kang know about the Avengers and have run into them before. In fact, the main Kang of Quantumania said that he killed many Avengers in the past, so many that he couldn't even remember their names. But we do know that the Avengers are a threat to Kang, especially the Kang Council. In the post-credit scene, Immortus says, none of us killed him, talking about the Kang from Quantumania. He says, it was them. They're beginning to touch the multiverse, and if we let them, they'll take everything we built. So an omnipotent Kang the Conqueror who has basically made it to the end of time, who can control time, who can control the multiverse, that Kang wanting to take out the Avengers would make sense, and also the villains because they would get in the way as well. But here's the thing, this variant of Kang doesn't have to be the Beyonder. You see, in the Secret War story, ultimately, Doctor Doom would steal the Beyonder's power, making him essentially the strongest being in the universe that they were in. This is something that can happen in Avengers Secret Wars and give us a Beyonder Kang variant. Because Doctor Doom steals the power of the Beyonder with technology. And Kang the Conqueror is somebody who can travel all the way till the end of time. He can travel so far in the future, and he could definitely get some type of technological advice that would give him the ability to take the power of a cosmic entity. And this is how we could get that variant that is Kang and the Beyonder. That way, the Beyonder still exists, and the Beyonder as a person still exists as a separate character as well, and could come into the MCU at some point in time. Now, ultimately, the Avengers in Secret Wars do defeat Doom, and they could also do the same in the MCU, of course, taking the Beyonder's powers away from Kang, setting up the Beyonder to return in the MCU in the future. But of course, the other option is that they could simply make Kang a Beyonder somehow. I mean, in an infinite realm of possibilities with the multiverse, with infinite universes being possible, maybe there was a time in a separate universe where Kang, Nathaniel Richards, was born as a Beyonder. And he could have discovered the multiverse, and he could have discovered that there are variants of himself trying to essentially take over the multiverse, but at the same time causing destruction to the multiverse. And much like the Beyonder's curiosity was piqued in the Secret Wars comic, I'm sure the Kang Beyonder's curiosity would be very piqued to find out that a version of him, thousands of different versions of him from other universes, were trying to take control over everything. And in turn, in doing so, were actually causing destruction to everything. And the cool thing is this way could also leave room open for the actual Beyonder character to make an MCU debut later. We know that the Beyonders are a race, they're a species, they're cosmic entities. And if Kang is born as a Beyonder, it doesn't necessarily mean that he is the character, the Beyonder. But it certainly would make an incredible threat. Either way, whether he's part Kang, part Beyonder, or Kang who stole the power of the Beyonder, you're essentially dealing with a god who can literally do whatever he wants with the multiverse. And this is why it would be such an incredible thing for Marvel Studios to do, because this villain would be on a level that we've never seen before. Thanos was awesome, but he needed the Infinity Gauntlet to do his plans. And when he even used the Infinity Gauntlet to erase half the universe, it almost killed him. Plus, not to mention, he had to actually close his hand to use the Infinity Gauntlet. He could not use it if his hand was open, and the Russo brothers who directed the films did confirm that. And if you go back and watch, his hand is always closed when he's using any of the stones. Just a cool little detail, but the Beyonder, a Kang Beyonder, would not have to do any of that. He wouldn't even require a weapon or technology for that matter. He would just simply have the power to do what he wants with the universe, with the multiverse, because he is a cosmic being who has that control. So this would be a villain on a completely different level than Thanos. And it would be a villain that all of the heroes and villains would have to come together to defeat. It'll literally take all of them, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and even Kang variants themselves would have to fight against Kang the Conqueror if he was the Beyonder. And I do like this twist, because I think either way, we still could get the Beyonder in the future, the actual Beyonder, not a Kang variant. But it would set up Kang to be a completely dominant and all-powerful villain. And it would also kind of create a lot of hate with the other Kang variants, because all the other Kang variants have to use technology to essentially control time and do what they want. But a Kang Beyonder variant wouldn't have to. It would simply just have that power. So I would be really curious to see the jealousy and the anger that the other Kang variants would have. So these are our theories on how Kang could appear as the Beyonder in Avengers Secret Wars. Let us know what you think about it, and do you have a theory of your own about how Kang could be the Beyonder in Secret Wars? If you do, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and of course you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Please subscribe, like this video. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. Have a great night, and see you guys. Bye.